How do you know each other?
His daughter said, "Can you help me out with my dad's art?" And I was like, "Man, that sounds like a heavy lifting right there." And I didn't know who she was, but she's a cool person for sure. And more, she's a cool daughter because she's looking out for her dad. And then, because I only do emerging artists, like first solos and stuff. And this is his first solo in 35 years, and second solo ever, maybe. So
yeah, it's been a
this is a
long
life's
time.
work in here, and that's a rare thing, and it's really cool to be a part of. And there's little stories for each piece, and some of them like, are hard for me to read without crying. They're so intense. That the clippings one.
Yeah. I was telling friends, people here, that this is the first show since I was a grad student that I really felt comfortable with what I was showing people rather than, galleries what they want. This was my stuff and exposing myself.
And that was one of the ways you like New York, because it was all gallerist run and not artist run, and they all had like their agendas. And
Well, it was not their fault. It was,
no. They're just doing their business.
Yeah, it was me just being weirded out as a young artist trying to get going, and I lost my heart while I was trying to deal with New York galleries.
Well, you did the good thing. You found out when you were pregnant, you guys moved to Denver
Yeah.
to be like a good parent, and not like a starving artist dad.
Well, even before that, when
You were done?
when my wife, I didn't want to be I didn't feel it was right to be a bohemian with a wife.
Yeah.
So we got a raw space in New York.
This is the 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s, and spent 8 years turning it from a
But you weren't
an
totally.
industrial.
You were doing illustration gigs for like New Yorkers.
I was doing that, but there was no money in it.
Right.
So I ended up teaching. But while I was teaching, I was also turning a house or a loft into a living space.
So the 80s,
it was a
you were
cool
doing a loft
place.
conversion in Lower East Side.
Yeah, Lower East Side, and then
And now, how much is it worth?
it was worth millions.
Back then.
I did a fire sale kind of thing because my wife had her second child in Denver, and I had to get rid of it. It was Lower East Side, so a lot of junkies around and a lot of cleaning up every day.
I gotta say it was more fun back then.
It was, I loved living there, but it's a tough place to raise a kid.
Of course it is.
So I sold it for.
So you've been
cheap.
working on your art at home just for 35 years, 40 years.
Yep. Since when the kids were in bed, I'd go do some work.
Yeah, and you were working at Denver Art Museum just because a buddy said, "Come over here, we got a job for you."
A friend of mine got me a job there, and for 28 years I worked with artists, curators, to kind of
He
do
drove
their
all of
vision.
these pieces. There's over 70 pieces came. I think there's 60 in the show. And I've never seen wood crates like this before. I'm talking about Gagosian level shit. And it's just because he's been doing it for 35 years.
I knew how
There's a truck,
to
a
package
U-Haul
up
truck
stuff.
filled with crates.
Yeah, I knew how to package up stuff, so I spent a month and a half getting this stuff down here and it didn't fall apart. That was the neat thing.
There was like one miniature pool ball that was I saw on the floor and a
Yeah,
screw.
it was this piece here, and somehow I didn't glue it in well. I go, I must have used wax glue, and I found out that it was really doweled in, but I never glued it entirely.
Okay. Well,
So
you're not just doing decoupage collage stuff. You're doing there's wiring on everything too. It's all
Everything's
baked in.
wired, attached, and there's nothing that's just things like this that are easy. I'll glue it, but that star will be wired in.
No, the techniques is my least favorite thing about all of this stuff. But the stories behind every single piece that kind of blew me away. Working on the PDF for this thing, the catalog was like, oh shit, all intense. And maybe tell them about.
I think one of my proudest things is how carefully I attach things. I work on this stuff to where it doesn't look intrusive.
Yeah.
And it's like a conservator. I worked with a lot of conservators, so I learned how to manage, at least on my level, of how a conservator would do it to make a piece stable.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I
archivable. That's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some young artists focus on this man. He learns some hard lessons and made some great shit.
Thank you.
He was there, even though in the midst of all the other stuff. So fun. I just want to say, hey, Brian pointed you out, and I was like,
It means so much to me.
you should feel that way. Okay.
You ever see those colors on all those signposts?
So I did like a pseudo version of it. It's really cool. Even more.
There's so many people like this. Make sure you spell everything right. Make sure